This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Now recently I've been doing some of those mystery box things. Well, I ended up getting this Dungeons and Dragons box, and I got all kinds of things in it. And one of the things that I got in it was an open copy of Dungeon. The Dungeons and Dragons Easy Fantasy board game. And I said, you know something? I think I played this a while ago, but it'd be fun to revisit it. And that I did, and I realized how much I like this. Now, for some of you, you know the Queen is away the end of the week. And I decided, you want to know something? This would be fun to play with the Tiger. Why not? So I think we're going to do a live play of this. But that's not what we're here for today. Today, we're going to show you how to play this and how this cheap little game is actually a lot of fun, especially for if you have younger kids that never played Dungeons and Dragons and you want to show them how things work a little bit and introduce them to the fantasy world. Let's go down to the table and take a look at Dungeon. Now, I'm not going to explain every rule here, but I promise you this much, that we are going to cover as much as we can here. This is a game that the Tiger and I think are going to play while the Queen is away this week. Since it is RPG week here at, well, yeah, you guessed it, Rob's Tabletop World. Now, Dungeon is a very easy game, and it's a great introduction game for young kids that you want to start to experience some fantasy battles or D&D. So we're going to explain this very quickly. It's pretty simple. What's going to happen is whoever goes first is going to move, and you start in the Great Hall, and you're going to be moving through here and conducting battles. For instance, our fighter, which is right here, matter of fact, is going to roll a die, and he's going to move 1, which is completely useless for what we want to do. But say we roll 5. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then he can go into a room here. And what happens at that point, because this is a level 1 room, you are going to face a level 1 monster, which we're going to turn over the card here. Now, what happens is he found some skeletons. So we're going to look and match up the symbol. So on 2 dice, he's going to need a 3+ to defeat that skeleton. He's going to roll 2 dice, and hopefully, yes, he defeats the skeleton. Once the skeleton is defeated, it goes into a discard pile, and he is able to pull a treasure. Now, this treasure, secret door card, but it has a value of 500. Now, what's really neat is that everything is pretty much spelled out on how the game works. You're going to move, you're going to encounter a monster, combat a monster, and loot for treasure. The whole idea is to get as much treasure as you can. Now, for a rogue, he needs 10,000 gold to win the game. But it depends where you are. Say, for instance, our rogue, which is the green symbol, is way over here and gets 10,000, attributes 10,000 gold pieces. They still have to get back here in order to win the game, and a lot can go wrong on the way back, for sure. A fighter, a wizard needs 30,000. A fighter needs 20,000. Now, wizards are really unique because they get to use spells. And what they're going to do is they are going to roll a d6 at the beginning again of the game. So 3. And then they get to add 6 to whatever they roll. So they are able to carry 9 spells. They can carry lightning bolts, they can carry teleportation, or they can carry fireballs. And if you noticed on our skeleton, which we're going to show you, if the wizard straight up fights the skeleton, he's going to need a 6. But if he uses a fireball, he's only going to need a 2, or a lightning bolt, he's only going to need a 2 on 2 dice. Now, let's see what would happen if he just straight up fought him. well, he would have just barely made it, and he didn't waste any spells. At any time, the wizard, while he's putzing around, if he runs out of spell, he can work his way back to the Great Hall. To make his way back to the Great Hall, he can then roll a die and add that many spells. Well, unfortunately, he would only add one. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through all these different levels. And as you go to the higher levels, of course, you're going to get better treasure, $1,500 for that. But some of these things have special abilities. There's magic swords that are going to give you +1 to your rolls. Now, every time you defeat a monster in a room, you're going to put a defeated monster token here. If there are ever 3 here and you land on that space, well, guess what? You cannot fight anything in there. Anything less, you can fight another monster. Now, say you miss the monster. Well, that's when it gets a little tough, because if you do not defeat the monster, because with the higher level monsters, it's going to be harder to defeat them. So, for instance, we are going to face this vampire. So say the fighter is going to fight the vampire. We're going to cross-reference the purple. We're going to need 8 on 2 dice. Oh, well, we defeated him. Let's say, okay, so he's defeated. How about the rogue? The rogue needs a natural 12. Well, that ain't going to happen. Ooh, almost did. He would have missed the vampire. So what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you. The monster gets to swing back, and there's a nice little chart here which keeps things nice and simple, and he's going to roll. The vampire swung back, and on a 9, hurt. Drop 1 random treasure card and retreat 1 space, lose a turn. This really hurts you. Losing a turn hurts you because you're in a race running around here trying to defeat monsters, collect treasure, and get back to the Great Hall to be the first one out and win the game. That isn't always easy because these things are going to cause you a problem. Should you not defeat the monster, well, he would go over here where there is a 1. The board is just perfect because it just sets everything up. And we would put a 1 token right there. So our rogue here did not defeat him, but we know that that is there. So if the fighter decided to come back over here and say, hey, I can take that vampire out, well, we know that that matches up, the 1 matches up with the 1 and the particular villain in that particular spot. Very, very fun, easy game to play, and just lots of things going on. These are lose a turn marker, of course. That way you can keep track of how many times you lose a turn. And you will lose a turn a lot. So let's go up and get my final thoughts on Dungeon. Now listen, I know a lot of you are going to say, it's a beer and pretzel type of game. Yeah, it is. But it's a game that's a lot of fun. And when you have people that don't play games normally and just want to play something fun and quick, I think this fits perfectly. This is fun. Plain and simple, it's just a lot of fun. And it's something I think I'm going to do live and have a lot of fun, and maybe have you guys play along and maybe even get the tiger involved. Why not? I mean, I got nothing to do all weekend. So, I'm very happy that I rediscovered this, and it's just so simple and so quick to play. It has a great feel for Dungeons and Dragons, especially for somebody that never plays it or anything like that, that you can just jump into this, get into it, and be immersed into the theme, because this is a very theme heavy run around the dungeon, pick up treasure, and try to get the heck out of Dodge before anybody else and win the game. But there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and that's what makes this game so much fun. I love this game. I enjoy it. As simple as it is, sometimes the simplest things in life are the best things in life. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.